Today we're hosting a debate between the Defence Minister, Senator Marise Payne, and her shadow, Senator Stephen Conroy.
I thank you very much for the invitation to be here today. There is no higher priority for a coalition government than ensuring our national security. As Defence Minister, it's my job to make sure that the men and women of the ADF have the skills, the capability and the support they need to ensure that national security. In the past 3 years, we've seen significant changes within Defence and in the global strategic environment in which Australia finds itself. The current demands on our Defence Force are significant. There are currently 2,500 Australian personnel deployed around the globe, from the Middle East and Afghanistan to those who are protecting our own borders. We also place very significant demands on our defence organisation. For example, in intelligence collection and cybersecurity, in the significant capability development and acquisition programs that we have underway. We need a 21st century defence organisation that is appropriately structured and funded to meet those future challenges, that is underpinned by a solid foundation with clear strategic guidance from government and the certainty of funding so that it can plan and deliver over the long term. We are also the beneficiary of unprecedented opportunities. With our situation here between the Indian and Pacific regions, we're exposed to a significant rise in prosperity across these two corners of the globe. With that rise in prosperity across our region, we see countries modernising their militaries. That enables them to provide increased security and stability for themselves and their own citizens, and also further opportunities to work with, to engage with, to partner with Australia. As a maritime trading nation, Australia depends on regional stability to underpin our economic prosperity. As a responsible global citizen, Australia cannot rely on others to provide that security and stability for us.
It is a great pleasure to be here today. It is the highest responsibility of any government to keep its people safe, and one that should be above political partisanship. Labor believes the best outcomes for Australia's national security are achieved through consensus and bipartisanship. Over the past 3 years, Labor has taken this approach to key decisions within the portfolio, including our bipartisan support for increasing defence funding to 2% of GDP by 2021, our support for Australia's assistance to Iraq and air operations over Syria. These are also examples of our constructive bipartisan approach. But today we are here to debate not only what we have in common, but also our differences. I've been Shadow Minister for nearly 3 years. During that time, I've witnessed a revolving door of Defence Ministers, Assistant Defence Ministers and Veterans Affairs Ministers. This is a government that has been characterised in this portfolio particularly by broken promises, chaos and indecision. Nowhere has this been more evident than its mishandling of the future submarines. We saw an ironclad promise to build 12 submarines in Adelaide turn into a handshake deal with Japan, which was followed by such a community outrage and backlash that the government was forced to invent an unproven competitive evaluation process, which is even today not provided a contract. And after all this, the government has been forced to accept that Labor was right all along, that our strategic circumstances require 12 submarines built here in Australia. So this is a government that also, during the last 3 years, has launched a cynical attack on the pay and conditions of our defence personnel, and it even went as far as labelling female defence members who are accessing paid parental leave as double dippers. Now, Labor successfully defeated that attack, and today I can announce a shortened Labor government will provide a grant of $100,000 per year to the Defence Force Welfare Association so that it is properly resourced to advocate on behalf of defence personnel. Now, when it comes to regional security challenges like the South China Sea, the Turnbull government has hidden behind ambiguous language while refusing to be upfront with the Australian people. By contrast, Labor has been clear on where we stand with respect to the international rules-based system and the challenges in our region. We believe our Defence Force should be authorised to conduct freedom of navigation operations consistent with international law.
Max Bligh and Australian Associated Press. I want to ask a question about an issue that one of you will have to deal with, and that is a Trump presidency, which is looking increasingly likely the way things are shaping up in the US. So what hedging strategies would a future coalition or Labor government adopt? And would we need a whole new defence white paper, as Kim Beazley suggests we might?
Kim just loves white papers. There's never enough white papers for Kim. Max, thank you very much for that question, and quite seriously, obviously Australia and the Australian government respect the democratic processes of the United States as they do ours, and the outcome of that democratic process remains to be seen. But once candidates are confirmed, then we would be making very clear how highly we value the strategic relationship and the alliance between Australia and the United States, and then whatever the outcome is post-November and with an inauguration, we would continue to work constructively, openly and positively with the United States. The white paper is very, very clear about the primacy of that relationship.
I wanted to echo Marise on that. We only have one alliance, and it's incredibly vital to our national interests, and we are 100% behind that. Some of the comments that have been made by Mr Trump criticising his US allies undermine the position of the United States in the region. Attacking Japan, South Korea, other countries actually undermines the network of alliances that the US has spent 30, 40, 50 years building up.
Well, that's fascinating, coming from a party which placed not one single order for one ship from one Australian yard in the entire term of their government. So what we ended up with was boom-bust cycles in the shipbuilding process, which led to a complete decline in the industry. And even their own 2013 future submarine reports indicate that that decline in jobs was going to hit right now, and it has.